just got back from New York, from the Hamptons, and I have a lot of new Armani goodies. And I want to do a look with their eyeshadows. These are their eye tints, and they are long wear and beautiful, and the colors are amazing, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. I'm gonna do something with this because I want to do it on my eyes and on my lips and possibly a little bit on my cheek. I want to do kind of a monochromatic look using this kind of warm mauve brown. It's gonna be amazing. So I already have all of my skincare on. It's summer, but LA is kind of the same, so I don't really change a lot of my skincare regimen. I still have on face oil, sunscreen. I've been really into this by Terry Cellular Rose Brightening Serum in Apricot. It's just an extension of skincare, really. But it gives a really nice luminosity to the skin as well. And I think it just looks really good by itself, but also underneath the foundation or tinted moisturizer. I've been really into the Complexion Rescue from Bare Minerals, and a little bit goes a long way. It has an SPF in it and just a really beautiful finish. And I wear number 3, which is buttercream. And I like to apply with my fingertips because I feel like it just gets into my skin a lot better and it's a lot more natural. So I treat it like almost like a lotion. I always work it down my neck so that there's no sign of where the makeup starts and where it stops, and I always make sure to also blend around the hairline and then just kind of press it all, really press it into the skin so nothing's sitting on top. It really works itself in. To do Glossier Stretch Concealer, which I feel like I have to stand corrected because the first time I used it I wasn't that impressed, and I've been using it every day, so I guess it's something. I think it's nice for summer because it's not too heavy and it's beautiful for underneath the eye. If you had really dark circles, I don't know if it would do the trick, if it would be enough coverage, but for me it seems to work really well.
What kind of brush are you using? This looks like an eyeshadow brush.
Yeah, it is actually. This is a Tom Ford. It's number 13. So this would be considered an eyeshadow blending brush, but I love using an eyeshadow brush for concealer because I think it makes the product diffuse so much better into the skin. Another secret weapon is the Hourglass Veil Retouching Fluid. I had a little blemish here which is going away really quickly, which I'm happy about. So I just put this on any area that I feel like needs a little bit more coverage. Luckily, I'm having a good skin week, so it's not too much. With this, I usually wait kind of a minute or so and let it dry down a little bit, and then I just tap this in with my fingertips because then it kind of dries the product a little bit, and then you can just kind of diffuse it into the skin. But I feel like this product in particular is like a magic eraser. I don't know what it does, but it's great to use for touch-ups at the end of the day as well. But I feel that if you're trying to blend any blemishes or sunspots, it's magic. It's my favorite.
You've been using it for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm. The second it came out, I was really impressed by it. What else do I have? Okay. Chanel. The Soleil Tan de Chanel. This is magic. It's a hero product for a lot of people. I'm going to use it with a Chanel brush. This is the powder brush. And you just kind of swirl your brush into the product. And I'm gonna use this as a bronzy contour. So I want a bigger brush because I feel like it kind of diffuses. And what's nice about this is it's got the point to it. So you kind of start that point in the area that you want to contour, and then it diffuses itself out. So I use it there, and then I bring it down around the jawline, underneath the chin, and kind of work that down the sides of the neck. And then what's ever left on my brush, I can kind of just give a little bit of color through my forehead, a little through the nose and the chin. But it's really moussey and it diffuses really well, so it's a nice, soft look. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. I don't ever know if I'm saying this right. It's a brand called Ritual de Fil. It's actually a makeup artist. This is her line. I met her on set one day and she told me about her line, and then I went to Detox Market here in LA. It's a clean beauty line and I found her product there. And this is a blush. It's cream. I have a brush hair in there, which is not very beautiful, but that's okay. Such is life. Okay. So you look at this color, it doesn't look like a special blush color, but I think usually for me, the uglier it looks in the packaging, the better it looks on. So this one's called Desire. I'm using this little kabuki brush from NARS and just blending that, starting on the apple of my cheek and pushing that into the bronzer contour situation that we already did. And they kind of just smudge and marry really nicely to each other. And just kind of gives a little bit of color.
Warms up the face right away.
But still super natural because it's cream and cream. So they're just kind of living together. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes first. This is my favorite eyelash curler. It's from Shiseido.
Oh yeah, nice.
I like it because it's more flat. I've found that a lot of eyelash curlers are hard to use because they're so curved that you can't get it flush onto your eye, at least for more of an almond shaped eye. And this one, I feel like I can get all of my eyelashes in. So I don't have all of my makeup here, so I'm just gonna kind of make this up as I go. I'm gonna take a little bit. This is tint number 11, which kind of has a little bit of, it looks like it's got a bit of a coral color into it. I'm gonna put that all over first.
Is it an eyeshadow?
Yep. I mean, these can kind of be whatever you want them to be, but this color in particular, I think, is best used as an eyeshadow. And I'm gonna go pretty much all the way up to the brow bone and then bring it out just a little bit. And it just gives like a little bit of a sheen to the eye. And these are long wear. I think they say, I want to say they're like 16 hour or something. And I was wearing this in the Hamptons and I definitely did not crease. So they do stay really well. It's kind of nice even by itself.
It's almost like iridescent.
Yeah, it gives just a little bit of shine and color. Yeah, love it. So 22. I think what I'm gonna do is just put this, I'll start it here along my lash line. Draw it out a little bit and then take my handy dandy, this is the Chanel eyeshadow brush, and start blending it out. I always like to give myself that corner because when you think about makeup, a lot of people see you from your profile. So you always want to focus on that outer corner of your eye because this is how people see you. See, you kind of want to scrape the brush off a little bit. That's a nice part, is you don't have to be precious or perfect because your brush will do all the blending. Just kind of getting the product on first and then moving it around. Love this. Then I'm going to put a little bit onto my hand so that I can diffuse with my brush because I don't want to go directly underneath my eye, but just really lightly connecting that corner. So good.
And that is like a liquid eyeshadow?
Yeah, it's a liquid eyeshadow, but it dries down. And you can see that that's also a nice matte finish, which is really nice up against the iridescent that we have. And you can kind of just smudge it in with your fingers. You can see that shape. I always use this hourglass first. It's kind of like my base coat for any sort of eyelash look I want to do. Because it helps my eyelashes stay up, and also I think it kind of discovers every eyelash. So this mascara isn't particularly going to be the one that makes them really, really big and fat, but at least kind of makes them exist first, and then you can build on top of it. And it's also perfect for underneath the eye. It's really the only non-waterproof mascara that I've found that doesn't get all over if you're sweaty or if your eyelashes touch your face or your product's really creamy. This doesn't transfer. So that's just with one coat. This is called the Realist. And then what else? Second coat we will use Better Than Sex mascara. I love this brush. It's so good. But I always scrape off my brush before I apply. I think that's a big mistake people make, is they go in with too much product. I'd rather start with less and be able to build, because if you have too much mascara, it just ends up being a mess. And you can see how much I took off, but it's still plenty. I like a really chunky, full lash. And then once you have it on, you can kind of just go right on the tips to kind of build out your length a little bit. So we already have plenty in the root. So I'm just tapping that right on my roots to make them longer. Eyebrows, favorite Maybelline Brow Drama. So you really have to back comb them first, and I'm applying more of the product to the outer edge because that's where my eyebrows are a little bit lighter. And then you can kind of bring them down. So let's finish up. No matter what, I always use this CoverGirl lip stain. Even if I were going to put a hot pink lip, red lip, anything. This is just, it kind of is like a way to cheat your lips bigger. So I draw out my lips outside the lines. Then I'm actually going to use that same eye tint that I used, number 22.
How do you decide if you want to go deeper tone or lighter tone? Especially when it comes to monotone, not monotone, monochrome look.
I think you kind of just have to see it and build it out. I mean, this typically wouldn't be a color that I gravitate towards because it's quite brown, but I could see that the undertone had some kind of reddy, I mean, it's turning kind of orangey red brown on my lip, so I knew I could pull it off. If it was straight brown, I wouldn't be able to do it. But you kind of just have to try, and if it doesn't work, you can always wipe it off. That's the good thing about makeup. I'm just going to finish with the touch of RMS Living Luminizer. It's one of my favorite highlighters because it's very, very natural. And I'm just putting it basically on that little corner of my cheekbone. I don't want too much highlight, and the good thing about this is it's so natural that it just looks like your own glow. So it doesn't have any shimmer or sparkle. So you can really just place it there. And then I'll just take a little and tap it in that corner of my eye as well.
Even on camera, it just makes such a big difference.
You see it?
Yeah. Like everything just lit up.
Yeah, it kind of just, it's like the little finishing touch. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use highlighter today, but you kind of just finish the look and then see. So yeah, this is it. Makeup of the day. I guess makeup of the night, because it's kind of, it could be day, but I feel like for me this is kind of day leading into night, and it's Friday, so why not?
Yes, show us your red pants.
Oh, these will fit.
Would you wear these with the look?
Yeah, that's kind of, I actually put sometimes I put my outfit on first.
Oh.